Walked into the house last night though, knew something was wrong. But she's really been working hard with them on actually walking and standing. Colton. We live 45 minutes to an hour from stores, all of that. So trying to, figure out what we can do. Our options are pretty limited at this point. Battle of the wills. Who's the stronger? I don't tolerate heat very well. That's part of this whole ordeal with me. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we just got back a few days ago from our trip to Florida. It was really nice getting to actually kind of rest, relax, spend time together, all that good stuff. And we came home, had some issues right off the bat. I'll tell you about those in just a little bit, but I wanted to share something else with you that we're working on today. As you know, our girls are very active in 4-H and the fair, and fair time is right around the corner. The girls have been working with their animals and they decided to show fewer this year than they did last year, which is actually really good since I'm not able to help them with it like I was before. And then, Kevin works and all that too, so he can't always, help wrangle other animals. So we decided on, they each are showing one goat and each are showing a rooster actually. But today they've been working on trying to walk with their goats. They had worked with them before. Both are a little bit willful, so it might be a little interesting, but I thought I'd bring you along, let you see how things are going with this. And then I'll tell you about what happened when we got back from Florida. Well, somebody decided he was going to be a little hard-headed right off the bat. Colton. Yeah, I know, Izzy decided to show Colton this year. He was probably getting close to being ready last year, but not quite. But he was dehorned last year when the others were, so he's a perfect candidate, and he has grown up quite a bit, and he does listen a little bit sometimes. He knows his name and he'll come and all that, but she's really been working hard with him on actually walking and standing. Colton. He just wants to do what Colton wants to do, which is why you got to train him. Because you got to work on walking and where you want him to walk, and then making him stop and stand where he needs to stop and stand. Still some work to be done, but I mean, not having been working with him for a little bit and then starting back up, I don't think that's too bad, honestly. I think he's doing pretty good. And if y'all remember, both of the girls showed goats last year, but they both showed really young billies. And the problem with showing super young billies, or just super young goats for that matter, is that they are a little harder to train, or once trained even to just follow and do exactly what you want them to do. We had the worst time with them just sitting there. They'd stop right before they came into the ring, put on the brakes, and then the girls would either have to, keep there and like shooing them over to where they're supposed to be, or pick them up and carry them and then just set them up to where they could actually judge them. So thankfully they weren't counted against them last year. I mean, both the girls did really, really great in the goat show. But this year they decided they were going to go with a little bit older animal. That way they didn't run into the same issues, because just having that age on them actually does make a difference. Colton, I don't know, he's a bit of a challenge, and we'll see. She actually had picked one last year that she did not take to the show. She had her goat picked out, and she had her registered and everything. We actually paid the registration fee. She didn't feel like she was quite ready when the fair actually was about to start, so we decided to hold her back and not take her. Turned out, I think it was for the best. Like, as soon as the fair was over, she started working with her again and started doing beautifully. She's a little bit rusty, so she's got to get back into practicing, but I think she's going to do really well once things actually get going. But I think Izzy and Colton are going to need to take a break for a little bit. We try to do short bouts at a time, short walks. That way we don't just, overwhelm them or make them, too upset or anything, especially when it's hot, because it is still hot out here. Well, Miss Apple, the only hang up with her, she does really good, honestly, and she was walking great for her last year. But the problem has been that she has a bit of separation anxiety from her mother, Carmel. So we're going to have to get her over that a little bit. Come on. Do you have the treats?
No.
Okay. Brought Abby some treats. Blizzard. Get out of the way, buddy. You're nasty. Come on, Apple. I think if she couldn't hear Caramel, she'd be fine. I don't know why Caramel's got to be like that, because Apple was last year's baby. And up until recently, she's been walking really good, so I don't really know what her deal is. But also before, weren't you using her like on a leash and a regular collar?
Yeah.
So it might be that we need to pull that back out and then gradually work into the show collar too. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on, baby. Look at her stance. I mean, she is beautiful. I really do think that if we can get her over this little hard-headed bit that she's got going right now, that she's going to do okay. Yeah, I'm glad you clipped it like that, because that gives her a little more security there. Filled up my pocket full of treats from the ones you brought. Apple.
Oh, nice. She likes treats.
Mm-hmm. Just like her mama. You're a sweet baby. You just are very hard-headed. Battle of the wills. Who's the stronger? Abby, I think, definitely has the stronger advantage here. Do you need more of these? You still got some? Hey, after she walks a little bit, like stop and make her stand. And then give her a treat. There you go. Good job.
See, Mama's fine. You're also fine.
Yeah, and you're fine, and you're actually in a bigger area. You just don't know what to think with nobody else to follow around here. But I think if we find the regular dog collar and leash and work with that for a little bit, kind of get her worn down some, then I think get her will worn down. That's what I mean. Oh. Then I think she'll do better. Here, you wanna take her back to the pen?
Ready?
Try her again later. Apple's having to work in really, really short bouts because she is so stubborn. But we don't want her to overheat or anything like that, which thankfully it's cooler today than it has been, but animals still have to be worked with, especially with the fair about a month away. But you know what? They're going to be ready. So yeah, that's how they're doing. Like I said, they still got a little bit to go, but they're doing really well with them. The girls are persistent, and that's what's going to pay off. More than anything, them just getting out here and working with them and showing them, yeah, they're who's boss, and the animals don't get to, rule the roost, then they'll kind of get the hang of it. Like I said, they were trained to walk before. They'll get back to it again, but I mean, we've had such hot temperatures. There's been several days that it's like, no, do not go out there and work with those animals because it is way too hot. But speaking of hot, I'm going to show you what happened when we got back from Florida, because it was not fun. We just got back from our trip, the medical trip / vacation, which we had a really nice time for the actual vacation portion of things. And we made the grueling trip home yesterday, which it's like 10.5 hours, a little bit more if you stop, which we did for meals, which is always hard on my body because that long in a vehicle, jarring and all that, it's rough. Walked into the house last night though, knew something was wrong. Walked in and it was very hot, which we turned the thermostat up when we're gone, because we always do. We're not needing it to be cooled or anything like that to a certain temp, so we raise it up pretty high. But Kevin walked to the thermostat and it read 97. We didn't set it that high. So he was listening. It sounded like it was running. Obviously wasn't. So that was a problem. This was after 9 o'clock at night. We live 45 minutes to an hour from stores, all of that. So trying to, figure out what we can do. Our options are pretty limited at this point. So trying to look around to see what we could do, we realized that the unit outside was not running. And I called his mom and I was like, hey, can the girls come down there? Because, I mean, it's late, they're hot. I mean, we're hot too, but they need some sort of normalcy. They need to get cool. They need to go to bed, because we knew we were going to have to go somewhere to figure out something. So she said, yeah, they could come down there. They spent the night last night, still down there. We're still currently dealing with this AC problem. Don't really know what it is. Something we read said the capacitor, but he just replaced that, and not really sure what it is because it's not acting like that's the problem now. But it's 93 degrees in the house. We did get a window unit last night, put it in our room. That's the only room that's actually cool in the house. But we've got a heat index of about 115 right now, so this is pretty grueling. We're inside a lot, so I'm going to be back and forth because I cannot stand being out in this heat for more than just a few minutes before my head is excruciating. But I want to give you an update because our lovely vacation turned into kind of a nightmare when we got home. I'll bring you along and let you see kind of what we're trying, what we're working on. We're just trying to figure out what it actually is and see if it's actually an AC problem or some sort of wiring problem or what. Because yeah, we really don't have a clue. But hopefully he can figure out something, because thankfully Kevin knows a lot about a lot of different things and he knows how to look up a lot of different things. So maybe we'll get something figured out. But I'll try to bring you along for what I can and see if we can't explain what we're doing as we go. Walmart was about to close last night, but thankfully there were a couple of really nice workers who, even though they did not have these units on the shelf, they checked 2 different back rooms and found one for us. We were super, super thankful for them. Wonderful, amazing people. But this did help us be able to actually sleep last night, because otherwise we would have wound up having to go to the next town over for a hotel, in addition to, you know, all the other craziness going on. All right, guys, so guess what? Finally, after an all-day affair, Kevin has the air working. But I just want to tell you a little bit of the craziness that we've gone through today. So he did some checking, did some, you know, Googling, searching, you know, all the things that could be going on with it. Because what it was is he went outside, had me flip the air back on after he turned it off last night. It clicked, the fan wouldn't turn on. And it acted like a capacitor from what we were searching and looking and talking to folks. So he was like, well, maybe that's what it is. And today we started trying to check everything. He had a multimeter that he'd gotten from Harbor Freight. It was just kind of a cheap one. And it wouldn't really read exactly what he needed to. So he was doing the best he could with that, but he couldn't really check everything. But he had made some phone calls, checked around, and for a service call, it was going to cost us, you know, quite a bit. I mean, if you can imagine how much an AC service call is, it's quite a bit of money, and for that and a capacitor. And so he was like, well, not knowing exactly what it is, you know, what if we just kind of, you know, go to the store and see what we can figure out. Home Depot sells a lot of things that you would not normally think about them selling, just to be honest. So here is our receipt. These are all the things that we got. We wound up getting, he was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get the breaker just in case it's the breaker. They actually had a capacitor, and so that said it was a direct replacement, so he got that because it was a universal. He got a new multimeter that actually was supposed to actually check capacitance, since ours did not. He also got a contactor, which said that could also be a possibility. And then also got the disconnect box in case that was the problem itself. For all those things together, it cost about what a service call would have cost for just like the AC issue itself, plus maybe a capacitor. Alright, so I'm back. Had to go rest a little bit because I don't tolerate heat very well. That's part of this whole ordeal with me. And like I said, I've not been feeling well today after the whole drive ordeal last night, or yesterday plus last night and all that. But turns out the capacitor wasn't the problem. He replaced it, still wasn't working after he'd already replaced the breaker. And then he's like, he checked the box and he was like, that only other thing, he said, that looks fine. He said, that tests fine. So the only other thing that it could be that he was able to check would be the contactor. So he's like, okay, here goes nothing. He changed it. I came inside, flipped it on when he told me to. Guess what? We have air. It works. It was all of that for that, and now our air conditioning unit is cooling down, which we are doing it a step down at a time. We're not doing it just all at once because we did not want to, mess something up or, freeze it up or anything. But it's 90 degrees in the house instead of 94 like it was a few minutes ago, and it's already feeling a little bit better. So yeah, that happened. No AC. And when Kevin got to looking in at the energy usage for the whole week we were gone, he actually found out that our AC actually stopped working the day we left. We left like really early in the morning, and it was out sometime in the middle of the day. So we literally had, a whole week with temperatures probably close to 100 inside our house, which is insane. Thankfully, he is so good at figuring things out, and he was able to find out, what the issue was by, process of elimination, and it did wind up being that contactor. So super, super glad for that and super thankful for his knowledge in that, so that we didn't have to wait on a repairman or pay a lot of extra money for that. On these super hot days, it is miserable outside, so I can only imagine how it would be if our AC we couldn't get it fixed. We did decide to keep the one window unit that we put in our bedroom, just so we have one for, emergencies, because worst case, we can all, be in a room and keep that room cool, while we're waiting on stuff to get fixed or whatever. But super thankful we were able to do that too, and that Walmart actually had window units, because, their shelves were actually pretty bare. The one that we were trying to get that was actually, a decent size room, not the tiniest room possible, they didn't even have it on the shelf at first. And thankfully there were some really great workers who actually went to the back, checked 2 storage rooms to find the right one that actually had the ACs in it. So they were a lifesaver, and we were really, really excited and thankful to them. But I need to get back inside because it is terribly hot, and I have got to rest because I don't do well in heat. And like I said, I'm still not doing great, but just trying to hang in there and trying to spend some time with the girls and help them and encourage them with the whole, animal deal for their projects for the fair, because it can be a lot and it can be frustrating, and you just need to be there with them to give them that encouragement, even if it's a little tough, because like I said, it can get frustrating, but they do excellent and they love it. It's just the hard work that goes into it. There's days and weeks and months of preparation, put into all this to actually get to the point where the animals are ready to show, and they're actually, show ready. So we're just going to keep plugging along and let the girls keep hanging in there with them. But thank you guys for coming along with us and kind of seeing what we had going on today. And we will catch you next time at Grounds Family Farm. Bye, guys.